Alright. Zemalf here, welcome back. Welcome back to Dwarf Fortress, live here on Thursday night, and if you're watching this on a later date on YouTube, whatever day it is for you. Today we will start by retiring our previous fort, the now legendary Beerbeers fort. We'll take one last quick look at the previous fort and dive just a little bit into the legends, mostly regarding that fort, and then I will be starting a new one. But for this video, even when you are watching this on YouTube, this will be the intro video for this fort, which is kind of odd, as this is the end of this fortress real time. But when you see this video, if you want to see how this fortress was built, see all the stories unfold, check either my channel or the video description for the playlist for the rest of the videos. Not all the videos will be public. They will be unlisted, so you can't necessarily see the videos on my channel, but the playlist is there, and the whole 110 hours is on that playlist. So if you want to watch the first fort I built into this world, that we will continue to build new forts into, including the one I'm about to start, watch that playlist for the whole story of this fort. But not gonna do kind of a comprehensive fortress tour here, just highlighting some ideas that I really liked in this fort that I will carry on into the carry with me into the future forts, and some things I will change. We had some really legendary events here that I hope will somehow be reflected in the Legends mode as well. We built some great statues for those dwarves, including the one for I think this is the one for the Sock Lord and Naked Ninja. One of the great things. We have a statue for Mr. Faber here, deflecting all those bolts from the goblins. We had probably the biggest story of the fort, the legend of the unbroken Lorbam. Now buried. She has her piece buried here in the depths of Beerbeers, with some of her favorite materials. But that's one thing I remember. It all started with that nasty ambush by the caravan guards that were plotting against us, slaughtering some civilians before the militia jumped in. Lorbam defending them, losing her ability to stand. Followed through by slaying one forgotten beast on her own, when I tried to give her a chance to go out in the blaze of glory. She refused and took down one of those big beasts. And we had a plenty of really cool forgotten beasts in this one, including the one we have captured in my web trap, which was one of the best creations I did here. Not my original idea, because this is described in the Dwarf Fortress wiki under the silk farming, but this was working so well that I want to build something similar for the next forts, kind of just in case we actually get a web-slinging forgotten beast or a giant cave spider. But this was working too well. There's so much silk here. It is stupid. I actually just quickly off screen figured out a way to have a method to turn this off. So now we have in this current design we have a hatch cover that I can drop the bait animal or bait creature away from there to stop creating infinite amount of silk. But that was working really well. My disposal system for both of the corpses, unnecessary refuse, and lower quality items than I wanted to keep in the fort was working really well. And I already kind of was designing an upgrade for this that I will use in the future fortresses that automates the atom smashing with a pressure plate. So more on this probably in all the forts I build, because I love the system of getting rid of unnecessary stuff, getting rid of unnecessary refuse, just getting rid of the unnecessary things with the atom smasher. I am in Dwarf Fortress very much. How would I describe it? I don't necessarily build the most beautiful, aesthetically pleasing fortresses. I focus on smooth running fortress as far as all the production goes. So I want like the stockpiles to work well. Occasionally I use quantum stockpiles to make it even better. In this one I really liked how we used quarry here on the right to get all our stone, and then use the minecart to haul that. That felt very like dwarf-like, and because of that I will start using minecarts more and more in my fortresses. I was actually planning to do like a very minecart focused fort, but more on that just a little bit later, because I have some new ideas, or new idea for the upcoming fort and forts. So we'll get back on that. We did dig very deep. We found 7, or actually more than 7 treasures of the gods. So we built a vault for them, so we have them stored safely here for our queen and necromancer. So when we retire this fort, we will leave this fort and queen necromancer on her own. And we'll see what happens to her as we play other fortresses for other civilizations. Other civilization we'll see what happens to her, what happens to this fort, what happens to this civilization, and other things I really liked in this fort. The mist generating aquifer. Light aquifers are a great thing. Great thing when you use them properly, and I really like this one. So I will probably be looking for light aquifer in most of my forts and build a similar waterfall through the fort, probably earlier than I did for this fort. And then the aquifer down here, not so great, but I did get through the aquifer layers with the bedrooms as well, so this turned out great. I think for the water mist generator, kind of I will build it sooner. I will pay more focus on the drainage, even that it was actually working kind of well for this one as well, taking the water off the edge. I was really happy with my training of the siege engines, siege operatives, using the catapult method, shooting into a ditch, and I really liked how I was able to train a master or legendary siege engineer to build masterwork ballistas. This ballista corridor design is very good. Sadly, we didn't get to utilize it so much, but luckily in the last part we did get some bigger goblin sieges running here. And but yeah, this design was amazing, and it worked really well as far as ballistas can be great, but that was amazing. So we will leave Beerbeers behind. Beerbeers behind, and we'll take a look at the legends. We'll see what happens to it after this. So let's. And also, if you haven't been playing Dwarf Fortress much, or if you haven't kind of built multiple multiple fortresses into your world. When you retire the fortress, these dwarves will continue living or dying. They will continue to do things in the fort. This civilization will continue to do things that we now have a mountain home here for. The Necromancer Queen will be doing her things. Looking forward to reading on that in the future. But I think I will not be playing this same civilization in this world, at least not for a long time. But we will pay attention to what happens to the Turquoise of Clouds as we start playing some other dwarven civilizations in this world. But yes, let's retire the fortress and then go to the Legends mode. And also the game notifies you that you can return into playing this fort as well in the future. But as said, I don't necessarily plan to do that. Your fortress has settled into the rhythm of day-to-day living beyond your meticulous concern. Save the world and continue. Yeah, I think I clicked that, but okay, the game is thinking. Okay, so what we can now do is go into this new world and start a new game. But instead of going and building a fortress right away, let's look into the legends. And I will focus on looking. I do like in the legends. I think there actually might be even an option for that. That the legends only reveal. Legends only reveal. Legends only reveal things that you have seen. But I don't have that option on. But I'll look mostly on the things we have seen. So we'll be looking at the history of the civilization that we just played. So this would be the Turquoise of Clouds. That was ruled by our Necromancer Queen. Okay, so let's see what legends say about Turquoise of Clouds. Not gonna spend too much time here, but just a little bit, because we see that in the year 1, when the written history of the world began, there was immediately a Minotaur as an enemy of the Turquoise of Clouds, and the first queen was Bomrek World Glazes. And this is something I really want to see in the future for the Fortress mod, that we can have these races and Warhammer throwing competitions and wrestling competitions and all that. That'll be so cool. But okay, let's go into the year, I believe, like 14. Yes. Because let's see what's happened. How did our Necromancer Queen become the queen already in year 14? Already in the year 14, mind you. So, how did this happen? So, a forgotten beast, Kenneth Kalel, the Froth of Mox, destroyed boulder clashes. And that probably killed a lot of dwarves, including the queen at the time. So let's see how this goes. So already in the year 9, they were attacked by a forgotten beast. Forgotten beast, and then let's see this year. Yeah, in 13, the forgotten beast like slayed a lot of the dwarves. And it settled in boulder class. This is interesting because I think we did see, like, even in my fortress, we did see that, like, the barons and baronesses of boulder clashes, even that boulder clash was ruled by this forgotten beast. Let's go back a little and let's just see that. Did we have another? Okay, for some reason we don't have an entry for our previous queen. I don't know why. That is. Did we get a new? Was she the queen until our Necromancer queen? That's what I want to see. That's when it's happened. Became an enemy. Founded knight standards. Became a baroness. Became a diplomat. Ah, there it is. There it is. Thank you. For some reason, it was not. It was not as a hypertext here, which is kind of odd. I think that's it should be here as well, but there she was. So yes, indeed, she was the queen until. So this forgotten beast right here killed our first queen. Or this civilization's first queen, speaking as ours, because we are still in that Beerbeers mode. And the queen did win a foot race during that year. She did have a lover, but they broke up. So looks like this queen lived her later life without, at least without a lover. Not sure if he had a spouse. But I'm curious how did. Well, we'll look at our Necromancer queen. I'm curious why did she become the queen? Oh, that's probably the reason, because the whole family was butchered by this forgotten beast, including the eldest son and the only daughter of the previous queen. So let's take a look at what the legends say about our Necromancer queen. So let's see. Zan was, well, the game uses past tense, even that Zan is still alive. Zan was a dwarf necromancer. She was one of the first of her kind. So the game doesn't specifically highlight. Oh, sorry, I was about to say that doesn't specifically highlight how she became. But she was not a necromancer when she became a queen, but in early autumn of 31, Zan became obsessed with her own mortality and sought to extend her life by any means due to envy of those that live on. So that's when she got that. Got that need, but did she then come necromancer how much later? Does the legend say that? She was a fighter. She was a fighter. Back then, that is. In the midsummer of 79, Zan aroused general suspicion in Goldsmiths after appearing not to age. Laid a series of oppressive edicts upon the turquoise of clouds. Yeah, they started to be suspicious of her as she didn't grow old. Okay, these are here. Here we go. So she became to Beerbeers in 105. Just before of that, she was already fighting like several defenses in Static Gorge, where she was when we started Beerbeers. She had a lot of kids, like 20 or so. And yes, necromancers can have children. That is either before or after they come necromancers. So looking at what happened to her, so it's actually kind of it's telling that she fought. That she fought in these, even that she was not actively fighting. However, here we do see a note how Zan did reanimate Mr. Faber, Moses' backfix, as we tried to raise Mr. Faber as intelligent undead, but the experiment failed. But it is in the legends. Sadly, as Steam version currently stands, or Dwarf Fortress currently stands, we don't get the nicknames in the legends, sadly. But that event I do remember. A little bit later, she did raise a couple of goblins in the arena. And here we can actually see her affiliations and all her... does she have a living kids? Eldest son, born 43. She does. And her currently oldest daughter who's alive is here, Moses Markhelms. And interestingly, did she find a lover in our fort? I didn't really pay attention who that was. It doesn't say it here that they became lovers. But, oh no. Her lover died in 107, but this was not in our fort. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's just quickly take a look at, still with our Necromancer Queen, that's what she did before she came to Beerbeers, and then we'll take a look at the Beerbeers. Yeah, I think it was right here. She had a lover in the year 90. But yeah, all these fights basically means that she was present when there was an attack there. But I thought there would be kind of a separate notification of being a necromancer, but I think this is the line that became obsessed with her own mortality. There's no like specific other notice that they became a necromancer, but that's it. So in 31 she became. So let's see. She was right. It doesn't actually show when she was born, because she was born before the written history. Cemented a bond of friendship amidst the horror of combat. I like those kind of stories, those are nice. No, here it is. She became obsessed in year 31, and she learned the secrets of life and death in 41. That's when she became a necromancer. She found either a book, well actually we can see she acquired the Lush of Clearings, which is probably a book of the life and life. We can actually see it in here. Someone created it in 41 for her, kinda for her. Nice. And this probably tells us that the Lush Clearings is maybe still in Goldsmiths, if it's not been stolen. Yes, it's a slab. In Fortress mode, the slab actually doesn't work. Dwarves don't read it, but in Adventure mode, when that's get added to the game, you could read a slab and become a Necromancer. In Fortress mode, you need books. What I don't know, and kind of that was the only thing I had in mind for Beerbeers if I would run it off screen, was to put Zan as a scholar into the library and see if she would write the book herself. But maybe we will leave that for future decades of this world. If she's still alive when we are done with couple of fortresses. But let's see about our dwarven civilization. What was happening outside Beerbeers. So there were goblins attacking, Cloister touched especially, and us. In here we see the 7 symbols that we dug from the depths, and we made it the symbol of our queen. Lumber agreement between the elves and us concluded with miserable outcome. I was chopping down so many trees, I just didn't care about the elves, but they didn't declare war, at least not yet. Right, this was one of the big attacks when I let the goblins kill a lot of barons and baronesses, counts and everything. And in here we got one of these is, now I don't remember the nicknames, but one of these is Homadict, and yeah, we had couple of those barons and counts coming to our fort. Let's see, do we see the attack by the devil? Does that... Oh, look at this! Goblins just before... just before we retired, the goblins who have been attacking us... no, actually, this is a different goblin organization, but the wickedness of hexes, they actually took over Cloister Touch from these dwarves. I like this message here in the end. Guild of Beer, at the settlement of Beerbeers, regained their senses after an initial period of questionable judgment. I like that line of player giving up the control. It's nice. But yeah, I don't see. We don't see a notice of the. Or was it earlier? When did the Dust Demon attack? I don't see that here. So this legend seemed to record the forgotten beasts, but it doesn't record the... It doesn't record the devils. At least I don't see it, because it was not this far at the back. So most of the stuff that was happening in our fort was the goblin sieges. Let's see if we see some of the... Do we see some of the... like Cyclops or the Titan attack? Yeah, we probably do have, if we look at all the dwarves who were here. Okay, but yeah, this was actually, we were looking at our... I was thinking that we were looking at our fort, but we were actually looking at the whole civilization. So let's, for the final of this Legends mode, let's take a look at Beerbeers. And again, I so wish we would have the nicknames here. It would be so nice. Because we have all the nicknames from the chat, or if you give custom nicknames, it would be so nice to see them here. But hopefully one day. So let's see, just going through if something catches my eye. We were creating some masterful earrings beds already in the year 1. So like 1 year after settling, we produced our first masterwork, which was created by this dwarf Poke-side earring. These are not masterful, so they are not yet like artifacts, so just masterworks. So we were churning out some crafts there. We got some of the visitors notified here. Uncovering the dwarf, what was that? Ah, okay, there was a book that was destroyed. I think this was the atom smash accident in the northern bridge when that happened. Well, I'm not 100% sure what's happened to those books. Okay, then we have our artifacts starting to be created from the strange moods. And for this fort, there was like a short moment from the end of the first year into the midway of the second year that we didn't get any migrants. But then we started getting a lot. I think it was around this point only when we went past 20 dwarfs. But then quite quickly went into the 50, 100 and 200 as well. In 102, we became barony. Barony, and does it say... Gave up being a stone carver to become a stoneworker. Gave up being a weaver to become a stone carver. Then we had some of the monster hunters coming to join us. We get more of the artifacts. I don't know what these books being destroyed is about. Ah, yeah, we missed the caravan in the first year. That is true. That is true. At least we didn't trade much. Something happened. I don't quite recall. What that was kind of we should have gotten migrants because we did trade, but we apparently didn't trade enough, something like that. Okay, seeing if anything interesting pops up here apart from us creating a lot of masterworks. And this this is actually this is a long history. Now that we now that we start to look at this, one event I am interested in is the year 106, because that's when we had that one dwarf trying to sneak in, and when we spotted that dwarf. Also, all these masterful engravings, jeez, all recorded here. When that one, I think it was dwarf who was trying to sneak in, probably to steal something, and then all the caravan cars joined the fight. That's when. We didn't know it back then, but that's when the legend of Lorbam began. So let's see if we get into the, I think then autumn of 106. What does the legend say? Late summer, early autumn. Okay, here we go. Mid-autumn. Okay, here we go. This is where it began. As the caravan cars attacked my civilians, and then my military proceeded into killing like 8 or 9 of them. So I think those are recorded here. Kind of the dwarves that died on our side. But we don't very specifically see here, for example, that Lorbam was mortally wounded. We don't see like the plot in here that was happening. Okay, I think I will jump here a little bit. There's so much here that I'm not gonna read it all. I am interested in like the year. Okay, there we go. The Lizard Fiend, Ashbone, the Fated Death. This was the Dust Demon. So it did cause at least 10 deaths in total. But it tracked 6 kills to its name. Well, 5. 5, and then it was struck down by Gog. This was one of the things that came from the depths of those obsidian spirals. A cat bled to death, slain with a steel ballista arrow. Nice. Okay. One last thing I want to find from here is the legend herself. Where is Lorbam? Where is Lorbam? Let's take a look. When did she die? There's so much stuff here that I could search the legends actually, but I think we have multiples of prepare the masterful roast. Let's see, it was I think around this time, like 116 maybe. Wonder if I would find her. Would I find her faster? Can I? Okay, I can search that, but I can't. Okay, let me take a look at the historical figures here just quickly. So we need to find someone who died. I think. Oh, there we go. Battle channeled. Battle channeled. So here's Lorbam. So she was born in 45, She was of unknown parentage. I kinda like that. I kinda like that. Let's see. So she became to the fort in 105. She was a member of the guild immediately. I think she was an armorsmith, if I recall, by main profession. And then she fought in many fights. In 106 she was very, very badly wounded. The legends doesn't track how she lost her ability to stand. Yeah, she did create masterful leggings there. It doesn't tell in the year 106 that she lost her ability to stand because of nerve damage in the lower spine. But after 106 she was crawling in all these fights. Let's see. Okay, so here in 111 we already made her a militia captain. But then in 112 we thought that we would be giving her a way out, as said in the Blaze of Glory, but she did proceed into soloing the Forgotten Beast, Thevin Talonshore, all on her own. And after that, oh, right, she was an armorsmith, but she was also a wax worker. So she actually made a lot of some waxworks, but some masterwork waxworks as well. Okay, here during this time, Lorban was in the therapy room. She did start to lose her mind, sadly, and at some point she did attack the cats in the therapy room. She was conducted into a prison. That was kind of probably the final stroke in this legend, that she just couldn't recover from the stress of the near mortal wounds all the way back from year 106. And then in the late spring of 115, Lorban became crazed after a great deal of stress, and eventually died of thirst. Interestingly, she... Wait a minute, how is that possible? how is that possible that she got the kill of a cat to her name after dying? Maybe there was something going on in the Beerbeers that we didn't see with our eyes. Maybe this is for a fact that back here, when Lorban was throwing tantrums, she attacked the cat, and then the cat died like years later. Yeah, two notable kills: the Forgotten Feast and a cat. But yeah, I think on that note we can end looking at the legends, looking at Beerbeers for now. Most interesting things will happen now when we look at Beerbeers after we stopped. So they have already... Wait, what? After we left, some grizzly bears have stolen iron chains. But yeah, I'm looking forward into seeing what happens in Ucatucat Beerbeers. And as a little bit weirdly, this was, for some of you in YouTube, possibly a first video you see of this fort. Click on that playlist link in the video description, or check the playlist from my channel. There's 110 hours there of the whole building of this fort, everything that's happened here. As I said in the beginning, not all those videos are public, so they are only on that playlist. They are unlisted, so you can't see the videos in the search results. You can't see them on the video page, but they are there. So look at the playlist if you want to see this fort, Ucatucat Beerbeers, being built as the first fort into this world, that I will now continue building new forts in. And related to that, as an intro, if I recall, we have a dead dwarven civilization, or civilization with only one dwarf alive. So my plan is to rebuild that dwarven civilization up. So that will mean a series of fortresses for that same civilization, because you always get 2 migrant waves for every fort, and after that the migrant waves come from your civilization, depending on how much you trade. Because we basically don't have a mountain home, we don't have a civilization, we are not gonna get the dwarven caravans from our own civilization. So, and then kind of basically after the two migrant waves, there's not much we can do to grow the fortress fast. So the challenge will be, and why I want to do this, I want to build great fortresses that work well with just 10 to 15 dwarves. And that will create kind of good kind of, let's say, beginner's guide type of things, that you see how the fortress is started many times. But also it gives me a chance to kind of reiterate on some ideas kind of faster into multiple forts. And eventually we can grow this dwarven civilization into being more than just that one dwarf through multiple fortresses. So let's begin. After a short break, I'm doing the break here to kind of cut this video, and so that I can then start a new one. But so with this, already for you who were watching on YouTube, thanks for watching this one, and as said, watch the rest of the Beerbeers in the playlist. And if you want to jump into this at the moment unnamed fort that begins the rebuilding of the dwarven civilization, check for more playlists and videos on the channel. So see you guys in just a moment for more Dwarf Fortress.